SP Department Demo, a part of SP Digital Workplace Solutions from SP Marketplace. With SP Department, you can bridge siloed departments across your organization by creating a common communication internal services structure that is part of the digital workplace. The department portals are part of what we call an operational portal structure that is part of the SP intranet package that includes an intranet homepage, employee self-service structure, and the departments that we'll be actually demonstrating today. Now, departments are more than just team sites in this overall structure. Each one of these is a SharePoint site. And team sites are built for peer-to-peer type of groups. In other words, a set number of members of a group that share things. But in reality, many departments are actually internal service departments like IT, HR, facilities, could be admin, could be legal, could be safety department. And in reality, they're providing services for the rest of the organization. So we actually have designed and taken a team site way beyond just a peer-to-peer team site. We've designed it in such a way that there is an employee portal side of the department. This is where you're actually providing services to your customers, the employees, and a staff side of the department. And what this means now is that very much putting in place a 101 best practice customer service aspect. So if you look at banks or fast food or any even retail stores out there, the really successful ones put in a best practice that is out there for their customers. It's called Make It Easy to Do Business and make it easy for them to get services and resources in a consistent way. And that's why you see when you go into McDonald's, you walk in the door, you know what you're doing. You're going to go up to that counter, you're going to order, because they've designed it the same way in every McDonald's. The same thing goes with banks. You walk in the door, the tellers are on one side, the desks are on the other. You know where you're going to go do your transactions. You know where you're going to go talk about loans. And again, the key thing here is you need to make it consistent for your customers. Well, the interesting thing is even in those type of industries, when it comes to internal services, they seem to forget about best practices. So what we're doing is putting in place those best practices for your internal customers, such that when they come into the IT department or HR department or marketing department, it is a consistent layout. There's a consistent set of capabilities. There's even a consistent set of services like a common service request system or a knowledge base. There is news and announcements from that department that is also there. So it's a place that also can drive self-service for the employee, that they can go and answer their own questions. There's a resource library that they can go get whatever documents or things that they need as well right in the department. But also what's very important here is that staff portal, the other side. And this is a secure side so that the employees coming into the My IT portal or My HR portal over there, they are locked down into that portal and they get at exactly only those resources, libraries, and lists that you allow them to get to. On the other side, though, the staff portal is where that staff can organize things. They can share documents, calendars, tasks. They can, bring in new business process applications that relates to their function. Could be campaigns in marketing. It's could be onboarding or policy management in HR, and things like asset or change tracking in IT, all built in with that staff being able to use that. So this is the concept of our department portals, and it is all integrated in with this intranet structure as well. And so if we take a look at the department portals, a breakdown of them, let's see what is actually in the portals themselves. So if we take a look at it, there's that staff portal. And the staff portal actually has a number of consistent things in it across all departments. It has a calendar that the team shares, a team calendar. It has task tracking. It has documents they're sharing. It even has a dashboard that is built in Power BI. that can report on the service requests. It has news and announcements, and even links to different process applications and a common knowledge base as well. So it's a place that the staff can actually work and organize things inside that department in a consistent way. The service portal here actually is, again, where the employee comes into. And the way we've designed it is that there actually is a redirect at the top of the site there. And they come in, and if they are not part of that staff permission group, it pushes them over to the My Service portal. And this is, again, where they can go in and answer their own questions in a knowledge base, see what events and news is going on related to that function, a place to communicate. Think of it as a little homepage for, say, HR, IT, or whatever, for their customers. There's a resource library that they can go and get things. Say if it's HR, they could go in and find interviewing tips or other things. Could be policies, forms. And they can also go in and submit service requests. Every department has a service request system built in that you can use, or if you don't already have a help desk, you can actually hide it or turn it off. So this is what we have designed as a department portal. The other nice thing too is because of those tools, because of tools that we have and capabilities, we can actually have it integrate with your different systems you have out there. So if this was an accounting department, it may go out to the accounting system and have links out there as well. And it also can link in with Office 365 because you might be using groups or teams for collaboration. We can actually link this SharePoint portal into Office 365 groups and teams, link to OneDrive, link to Planner, and other things. So it actually makes it easier to use some of these services in Office 365 because you don't have to go looking for them in the big drop-down app launcher and go look for the HR team. You can go right from here and get to the relevant team to that department. So let's just talk a little bit about how we built these. So again, there is a staff portal and employee portal. These are actually SharePoint solution templates. We actually provision them as SharePoint sites in your Office 365 SharePoint. They're actually native Office 365 and SharePoint. We build them with lists and libraries just as you would. And the nice thing about it is it makes it 100% customizable by those Power Business users that just happen to know how to do, add a column to a list or, do a different report view or view in the list. You can even change the pages and edit the pages. We're taking advantage of all of that Power Business level type no code capabilities in SharePoint. And the nice thing is these plug into your intranet structure. So things like news and announcements that you may have in your employee portal here, each department can have a content manager, and they could actually click off a box that says promote it to the intranet site, and it would be brought up to the top homepage if it's something relevant that the whole organization needs to know. Maybe it's a new hire that you want to announce, or IT is announcing they're going to be taking down a system over the weekend. So it is all integrated in what we call active portal content structure. And we also leverage Office 365 tools and services. You can see right here, here's links to the different teams, but also things like Skype for Business. If you have a service request, which is a help desk request, and you can, from Joe, you can actually hover over the requester name in the application, and it will actually pop up with Skype for Business or Teams communication capability, and you can talk to Joe, you can share screens with Joe, you can message him, and everything else. Just a little more detail on each of the portals. The staff portal has a number of things, including a service desk, portal content management, that's for both the staff and the employee portal, things like news and events and announcements, team task tracking, shared documents, calendar, contacts for the team. Power BI dashboard template is created, and you can also link to Office 365 teams or groups, as we see here, that is relevant to the portal, so an IT group in this case. And you can also link to functional applications, such as if you're using an outside help desk or maybe you're using System Center from Microsoft. You can actually insert those in here too to link to. Again, it's the place for the IT team to organize around their function. The employee portal, again, is where the employees come in. This is what it looks like. Very simple to use. You can come in here, they could make a service request, they could access the knowledge base, announcements, or news related to IT, and resources. They can get to different docs in what we call a resource library, links, or videos that the department may want to present to them. And by the way, everything is available both on regular laptop views as well as mobile views. Everything is full mobile capable as well. And what you really end up with here is a consistent design across departments for employees going in. So they come into a familiar thing no matter what department they're coming into. So in essence here, the departments come with the intranet portal package, which includes Intranet Home, Employee Self-Service, or Employee Central here, and the departments. And you can add as many departments as you wish. Each department does need to be licensed. The base intranet package comes with 3 departments, and then you can add from there. Now, you see also in our product list that we have full functional departments as well, such as IT, HR, facilities, marketing. We have a CRM, and there's a project portal as well, too. And what we've done there is we've taken these departments and actually applied these applications. These are full functional applications built in SharePoint with the full workflows and everything else. And they are put into the department portals, and then they become that product, that IT support product, SPHR, and so on. So it's a way to actually finish off these departments. But of course, if you've already got an HR system or say an IT help desk, you can use the department and link to those functions as well. We call that a wrapper, a department wrapper around it. So that's how we actually come up with the HR IT. And then we also see a lot of our clients and customers customizing the department to become specialized departments, so such as a safety department. And here what we did is we took the service request and modified it to be an incident tracker, added a couple libraries, one for OSHA forms in the United States, and it becomes a safety department that is great for capturing incidents and reporting and audits and all that type of stuff. So it's a very powerful product here, and you can do a lot with it. So let's take a look at a demonstration of the department portal. Okay, I'm on the intranet page here. I'm with Radiant Solar, and I'm an employee here. And you can see that it does have the full intranet layout here with news and information from my department, no local news now, Twitter, and so on. But for this demonstration here, we're going to go to the generic department site we have set up, and it's actually a finance department. Now we can see that what's happened here is that it's taken me to the My Finance portal, and this is how I interact with the finance department. I can do things like do a service request for maybe a updated budget report for my department. I could look at the knowledge base for maybe what our expense limits are or something, and even download documents as well here. Could be again specific things related to finance, like budget guidelines or expense guidelines. There is department news here. I can see any events that are going on, useful links as well here too, and any service requests I've put in. To put in a service request, all I have to do is click this, and it brings me to the service request form. It's a simple form. Actually, our forms are kind of cool because if I were to sign in as part of the staff, it would give me much more of a number of tabs and so on to process the service request. But I'm just going to go in and say need month to date budget versus actuals. And automatically knows it's me, and I'm doing a budget or a report request, and I'll just say I need this for the IT department. And I could also go in, by the way, and attach files and those type of things, and I'll just hit save. And it brings me back to the portal. I can also go into, for instance, useful docs and look for a document that I might need. And it takes me to portal documents where I can actually go in and usually there's folders and other things here, but I'll go in and just take a look and download the business travel and expenses here. And it just, because I'm in Office 365, can bring it up, and I can either download it or I could just read it right here as well. And then, of course, I can see the status anytime of my service request. And I'll actually get an email confirming that they got my service request, and when it's completed, I'll actually get an email back, and hopefully they can even attach that report for me. Or they could actually put it into useful docs and put it in a folder that is just for me as well, too. So this is really what we mean by a service portal for a department, is that it really is there for the employees to go in and get self-service or make service requests. So it cuts down the whole calling and emailing and back and forth. So let's take a look at what it looks like to be a staff member in the finance department. Now I'm back in the intranet, and now I'm playing a different role here. I'm actually a staff member in that department. Again, I can go from the intranet, I can go directly to the site, but what happens automatically is it understands that I am part of the finance staff, and it routes me to the finance staff portal instead of the My Finance portal, which is the service portal. So now as a staff member, obviously I get access to a lot more. So I can go in and I can fill out a service request if somebody calls in, if I'm in the department, or I can see all service requests. There's a My Workspace out here that I can go and take a look at, my OneDrive, my email, any of that. There is a knowledge base that we use in the department and a dashboard as well. And I can also go right over to the employee portal. You can see that the menu has expanded as well. All of our menus are audience-based, so I could go in and see if there's any service requests assigned to me. I could go in and see our internal knowledge base contacts, or it could be anything else. If I wanted, we could actually add another document library. Maybe that houses all of our budgets, or we could add another list, which is a vendors list or something like that as well. So that's how you actually take the generic portal and make it a specific functional portal. And then also for the staff here, we have shared tasks, documents, and so on. Now, instead of having to go over here to get to the finance 365 stuff, specifically the finance group, I could go here and either go to my group or team related to finance. I could also go to the finance calendar, OneDrive, planner, as well as even looking at discussions. There is internal department news that I can see here. I can contact any of my coworkers just by hovering over this, and they come up in Skype for Business. And I can even see what they've shared with me recently, any emails, those type of things as well. Too. I can see any meetings that we have here and any service requests that have come in, and it looks like one came in here too. So I'll go in here, and actually I'm going to open up this service request. And now you'll see, if you remember when I was in as the employee, it was a very simple form. But now that I'm actually servicing the request, you can see that the form dynamically changes by role. And so I could go in and edit the item. I could assign it to somebody here, and I'll go ahead and assign it to Brandon. So here's the requester. If I want to talk to Daryl, I just, again, hover over him, and I can open it up just like we saw with the contacts there. The details and status is where I can actually put what kind of request it is. This one is just a request here, and I'm going to assign it, since it's a report, to Brandon to create. And I can even relate it to a KB article. I can put in work log info, so I'll just go in and say, needs it for the IT department as well. And I can, if there was other tasks that I needed somebody to do but not assign the tickets, I could even create a new task right here if I wanted to. But I'll go ahead and just save this, and Brandon will get an email, and we'll start working on it as well. And once Brandon finishes it, the requester, Daryl, will actually get a email with it as well too. And Brandon can even also attach files to it and so on. So nice, easy to use service request system. The nice thing about it too is that at any time we can go in and do reporting. So I can go in and take a look across all service requests here. We have different views defined here. So I could go in and say, take a look at all service requests, or service requests that were just new today or that aren't assigned, or even service requests by month out here, and see the number of service requests we've had by month as well. Related to service requests, if I go back to the front page of the portal here, I mentioned earlier that we had a Power BI capability here and dashboard. And so if I go to this dashboard, I can actually see the activity that has gone on in different service requests and the types of them and so on. So it gives a view of the activity in the department and what services we've provided as well. And it is dynamic. So for instance, if I wanted to focus on October, I could do that. I could also do any date ranges here. So all of that is set up here. And we can see that at any time I can go to the service requests. Other things that I can do are more personalized in here as well. So I could go in and, for instance, if I want to look at my email, instead of again going over to the Office 365 big drop down with an overwhelming set of icons, I could just go right to the My Workspace. And that will take me to an area that I can go to my email, I can go to my OneDrive, my planner, calendar, and so on. I can see any documents that I have been working on here. I can also see any tasks or service requests that have been assigned to me on the My Workspace out here. So overall, the finance department here is a place that we can organize things. We can organize our documents. We can organize things like contacts in our calendar. And we can even go and manage the announcements and news and so on at the department level, and even select things to be pushed up to the intranet as well too. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, it is a very easy to use. And by the way, we haven't put any coloring or branding or anything on this. You can use standard Office 365 changes of colors and so on with this as well too. But you can see that this is much more than just a team site. It is a full service portal that a group can then go in, such as finance, and organize things. And as I said, you can even customize it any way that you want. You can learn more about this module or any of our other 11 modules that are part of the Digital Workplace Suite at www.spmarketplace.com. Transform your Office 365 to be a productive, collaborative digital workplace.